I'm Dr. George Flinn, and on this segment, we're going to talk a little bit about you and soul searching. You searching your soul to find out why you're here. What are you doing here on earth? What's your reason for being here? You know, a lot of people have talents. They're given talents. And a lot of people want to make the world a better place in their own way. Some are artistic. Some are athletic. Some are sort of mechanical, engineering type talents. Some are human interest type talents. In other words, they're interested in other people. But if you're interested in finding out why you're here, what you're doing here, and what's it all about, this is a place to be. Because we're going to give you a chance to figure it all out and then maybe share it with other people. You know, most people have a message. There are people out there that are messengers. There are people that write books. They do things for other people. They build things. They record things. They do all kind of things for people. What is your message? What mark do you want to leave on the world? You know, some people have statues. Some people have things named after them. Some people, there are myriad of things. But how do you want to be seen, not remembered, but seen as you are right now? And then that will go into how you're remembered. Or have you accomplished your mission? What is your mission? That's the main thing. If you find out your mission, then you can get on with it. But if you wander around and not knowing what you are and what you're supposed to do, and you're just kind of wandering from one place to the other, well, if you don't have a destination, the old saying is, any old road will get you there. If you don't figure out what you're trying to do, and once you figure that out, you know, it becomes pretty easy. Then all you've got to do is take action. So once you decide what you want to do, that's the first thing. Make a decision as to what you want to do. And I don't mean make a decision right this minute. I mean make a decision in the next few days, maybe a few hours, but just make a decision as to what you want to do. You may be doing it, and you may not know why you're doing it. But make a decision to, if you're doing something that you like, figure out why you're doing it. Because, like I said, most people have a message. They want to leave their mark on the world. They want people to know that they existed, that they were in the world. And you want to make a change. You want to make a change for the better. That's most people. I believe that's you. And what I'd like to know is, what would you like to tell other people? From your experience, what would you like to tell? Now, if you want me to tell, I could tell about being a doctor, about being an engineer, about being in business. But this is your time to tell. And that's what I want you to do, is let's think about what you would like to say to other people. And you might even write it down. You might write it down on an index card or a piece of paper or a book or an essay or something. If you want to write it down, I think that's great. Because once you put pen to paper, it's not just a thought anymore. It is a declaration. It is who you are and what you're doing and where you're going. I strongly recommend you do that. Who you are, where you're going, and what's your purpose. Those are general things. And once you come out with that, then would you like to tell anybody else? Who would you like to tell? Who would you like to help get through life not making all the mistakes that you made? You know you made some mistakes. We all do. But let's help others not make the same mistakes and let them and improve the knowledge of the world, improve the efficiency of the world. We've all made errors. So no sense everyone else in the world having to make that same error if you just tell them about your errors. You say, I don't want to tell about my shortcomings. Maybe the best thing you could tell someone else, your shortcomings, because maybe they could learn from that and improve their lives. Now that's generally what a lot of people are about, is helping other people improve their lives. And at the same time, improving their own life. Because if you help enough other people get what they want, you generally get what you want. So that's very important for you to remember. What life lessons do you have? What about grammar school? What about high school? What about further school, training, college, further school and college? Workshops. What about technical schools? What about learning things? Learning to fly airplanes, or learning to drive a car, or learning to, drive a big truck or a bus, or I'm talking about transportation now, or boat. You can learn things. And is that what you're about? If that is, I think it's great. You can tell other people the joy that you can get from learning, constant learning. What about your experiences? What about the things that have happened to you and how you responded to them and how you made that experience? If it was a challenge, how you reacted to that challenge. You know the one I'm thinking about. You know. You had a challenge. How did you react to it? Now, sometimes we react poorly to them. And then we can say, if this ever comes up for you, here's a better way of reacting. Sometimes you did the greatest job in the world and it couldn't be better. So point out your successes. But what I'm saying is point out your failures and your successes so that other people will be able to keep on, stand on your shoulders on the successes and learn from the failures. So you call them failures. They may not be failures. A lot of things that people consider to be failures were actual big leaps in the world. Take Post-it notes. The guy was trying to develop some kind of a glue that would hold a piece of paper on a wall or somewhere. The glue never would stick that well. So it would stick a little bit, but not a lot. And so from then came Post-it notes. Things that you overlook. Remember, look at everything you can. Take, for example, Kodak, the company that used to make cameras and film, and you'd take it to the developer people, and they would send it off or get it developed and give you the prints. Now we have digital cameras. We have cameras in our cell phones, on our tablets, everywhere. But did you know who the inventor of the digital? And Kodak is, basically out of the business, out of the photography business. But who invented the digital camera? Kodak. Yes, Kodak invented the digital camera. An engineer at Kodak. He took it to the board, and they said, it didn't have any pixels to it, hadn't been perfected. So he took it to the board, and they said, it will never replace film, never ever. So just forget that. So that's the kind of thing I'm saying. You look at something that may be new, and you think, will this ever work? I don't know. But don't discard it. Look at it and help other people look at it, and then you can help so many other people. How do you manage your time? What do you do with your time? Do you help other people? Do you relax? What do you do? And how can you help other people manage their time properly? What about your family? You don't know it, but I hope you mostly do know it. You are an example to your family, to your kids, your spouse. You are an example. You don't have to say anything. It's the way you live. That's the example. And that's the example you're showing to them by living a daily example. What about your life story? Would you like for people to know your life story? The good and the bad. I didn't say it all had to be good and all had to be successful, one success after another. Well, I want you to think about these things and think about your family. How are you taking care of your health? How do you take care of your security? What measures have you taken to take care of your health? What diet? What exercise? What balance between work and play and entertainment? What kind of relationships have you developed? And how is all of that fitting together in your life? Now, I want you to think about these things. And if you care to share them, go ahead, share them. If you would like to be on this program, we could either do it by in person with, social distancing, or we can do it by Zoom call. And you could be on and you could tell your story. A lot of people have said, I wish I could tell my story. Well, here's your chance to tell your story. And I'll tell you how to do it in just a minute. Other people say, I've got a story, but I'm just not any good at telling my story. I don't want to be on TV. I don't want to be on radio. I don't want to do any of that. Write your story down. Send it to me. Give me permission. I will tell your story for you. I'll probably talk to you and get some more details of it, but I want people to know your story. If you want to use your name, great. If you don't want to use your name, that's fine too. But we need to get these stories of your life out there. We need you to share with the rest of the world your history, because it is an important part. It's the only history you've got, and we need to know about it. We're your neighbors. We're your friends. We're the people that go around. And please, you don't have to bring out your deepest, darkest secret. Just stories about your life, the things that happened growing up, the things that happened yesterday, the things that are significant to you. And you say, that would never be significant to anyone else. Yes, it would. The more significant it is to you, the more universal it is for everyone else. And they want to know about you. We all do. And I'll give you my email address, and you can send it to me. Send me your story, or tell me you'd like to be on and tell your story, because that's what we're looking for, you to get out and get your message out. It's whbq@aol.com. That's the email address, whbq@aol.com. If you'll just send me an email, your contact information, or you can send your story to me. We'll put those on. But I want you to get your message out every day in every way, because you have an important part in all of this going on. Again, that's whbq@aol.com. W, whiskey, H, hotel, B, boy, Q, Quebec. whbq@aol.com. We'll look forward to hearing from you soon.